Now, what is our program over the next 3 days on how we're going to do that? This is what we will go through now. First being the intention of all intentions for the pleasure of Allah. Come as an open vessel. That links in again with I am nothing, I know nothing. If you come with your glass full, this is many times beautifully mentioned, like our Ustad Shafiq many times mentions this before his lessons. Open vessel. Empty your cup. Empty what you think you know. Come empty so the knowledge, the practice can be put in and you can benefit from it. Focus on the now. What do we mean by that? Focus on the now. You are now come and enter this Zavia, this training center. Everybody here received the conditions? Now just follow those conditions. Become present here. Don't worry about what you left behind at home. They're still going to stay there. Don't worry about what you're going to come back to, what's happening at home, what's happening with your business. Are you making profit? Are you making loss? What does your wife think of you? What does your kids think of you? What are they doing? My favorite program, what am I missing? Just come fully present here and benefit in this way from this intensive retreat. It's called the power of now. Very powerful. Then the next session, your first learning session, will be the 7 obstacles. That's like a self-assessment of what is blocking you or what could be preventing you to enter into the spiritual world. For example, one of them will be the mind, the body, part of the bodies. For example, the eyes. So you will do a self-assessment. It will be a practical way of doing a self-assessment collectively, but personal to you. Think of it like a self-scan of what are my blockages. And again, I'm not going to go into detail, but this is to give you an overview of what to expect. For example, if you don't know that your weakness is your eyes, and if you do not know how to control your eyes, how do you expect the spiritual eye to open? First step is to acknowledge this is my weakness. And then we will work on the 5 foundational practices, which are basically solutions to some, if not all, of your blockages or potential blockages. And these are the 5 foundational practices to the spiritual openings. Again, we will allow the Ustads who will be leading the sessions to go into detail. Now, some of you may ask, how will that benefit me if I am indulged in such sins? How will I benefit? How will the spiritual world open up to me if I've only just started these 5 foundational practices here? I see some of you nodding. Is there any limit to Allah's power? What do we need to do? Make the intention, repent, and try. Know what is blocking. Know the solution. Here you will learn to know who you are, where you've come from, what your purpose here is, what are the preconditions, what are the objectives of your life here. And it won't stop at knowing. You will be given the solutions, and the solutions will become personal to you. Use the power of intention. Understand, know that there is nothing more powerful than Allah. Nobody more patient than Allah. Nobody more forgiving than Allah. Any questions so far? Is everybody following this? So our objective is clear. Our intention is clear. We understand what it means to come as an open vessel. Unlearn what you have learnt. When we were blessed enough to travel Pakistan with our teacher, when this was first given permission to teach, and I remember one of the toughest sessions we had was with scholars. Sometimes it's easier when somebody comes, they don't know anything. And one of the, I won't mention names, is again a scholar of a university, many people underneath him. And he had difficulty focusing, difficulty concentrating. Did the assessments of where the blockages were. And when he understood where one of his major blockages was, we came up with a phrase was called dropping the baggage. Drop the baggage. And he goes, Sergeant, I've got a lot of baggage. I've got a lot of knowledge on my head. A lot of questions keep coming. Why this? Because this is not a theoretical session. Why is yellow spiritual center yellow? And I'll explain this to you when we come to it. Meaning, how do I know that there are rulings to see what you see in the unseen? And when he started to unlearn what he learned and say, right, I'm going to forget everything that I think I know. I'm just going to follow. And then he started to see for himself. And when he started to get glimpses, he started dropping more baggage. And he started to, the veils were lifting from him. Even the veils of his own weaknesses. He goes, I am harsh with my servants, with my staff, those who are underneath me. He goes, I'm going to make firm intention to be softer with them. I'm going to start the sheet of the tongue and allow my tongue to be the prophetic tongue. And as soon as he started making those intentions, the veils started lifting, and he surpassed the class. And the reason I'm mentioning this is as a motivation to myself and yourselves that within these 3 days, you follow the program. All of this is possible. You follow the program, all of this is possible. And I'm giving you real live examples. You have Uncle Iqbal sitting there with you, and he has traveled with us and experienced these examples. And then we'll go through the spiritual centers. Some of them refer to as lataifs, but these are energy centers that we use. We'll be using the 7 major energy centers. The 7 major energy centers. There will be a little bit of theory. You need to know what color they are, where their location is on the body, and we'll be using those to energize like a rocket, like rockets do to send the shuttle into space. You'll be using these to send or to transfer your spirit into the spiritual world They're not our purpose. Again, unlearn what you think you know about these. We'll be using them to energize our spiritual body, to transfer the spirit into the spiritual world. And this can all be done over the next few days. Once you do that, you will enter into the spiritual world. You will have reached your objective. For within the spiritual world, you will see, you will taste, you will feel, you will experience. The veils will be lifted. But with time permitting, and again, possible within the next 2 to 3 days, we will focus that skill that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has now blessed you with, of transferring your spirit into the spiritual world, and you will have further, more focused muraqabah. Muraqabah really means to focus. Muraqabah really means to focus. One of the focuses will be the spiritual dua, the muraqabah dua. Now that's a prayer like no other. Learn to do this. It will bring miracles into your life. It will bring miracles into your life. There's a dua, like the dua of the heedless heart. Then there's dua, the one who can be in the present. His spirit is present. His heart, his mind is present. And I will not go into detail. And the blessed Ustad who goes through this with you will go into detail. And this is another gift the teacher is giving for you to take home with you. Dua, everybody's heard this. The power, the weapon of the believer. But why? Why is our du'as not changing things? Again, I'll leave these questions out there, and inshallah, this will be another gift that you will take home with you. Another focus. Muraqabah Miraj. Now, here we'll be following the prophetic sunnah of the Miraj, the ascension. And this is just to give you a taster. If you look at the presentation. So once you transfer the spirit, you will then focus on taking the spirit to the first sky, second sky, the heavenly Kaaba. You can do tawaf here. Those brothers and sisters, and it's happening now, it happened over the last few days, who have attended these retreats and now are on Hajj, they are not just doing the physical pilgrimage, they're doing it spiritually as well. They will walk around the holy Kaaba physically, and at the same time transfer the spirit and send the spirit to the heavenly Kaaba and beyond. Imagine a pilgrimage like that. This is not a story. There are brothers and sisters who are doing this, and they're updating this. And inshallah, once you complete these next 3 days, achieve your objective, with the teacher's permission, you'll be added to this group of updating, further mentoring. And it's really going to be your choice on how far and deep you want to progress. It's going to be your choice on what you achieve in the next 2 or 3 days, if you want to establish it or let it fizzle away. Muraqabah Salah. And we briefly touched on this before. This is something we will cover in the next 3 days. Again, once you've had the skill of transfer, started the mirage while you're sitting down, we'll then transfer that skill into the spiritual prayer, where once you enter the salah, your spirit can transfer to the old Medina mosque. As shown in the diagram that you're looking at now. Remember that spirit, who you really are, is beyond, is outside time and space. So you can travel back in time. It can travel forward in time. That's why I said at the beginning, I'm looking at your faces, looking like, wow, can this be done? Inshallah. Spiritual adventure. Now the next one is normally on a level 2 retreat. So those who fully submit themselves, meaning that's taking you back to the intention, the open vessel, coming as a blank canvas, following the program. As we say in English, the cream of the crop. Muraqabah, the focus on Muraqabah Muhammadiyah. You will use this new God-given skill under the permission of our teacher. With practice, then you will learn a focused muraqabah. Normally this is done at level 2, so I'm giving you something to look forward to as well. And sometimes, depending on how the class does, this can also be achieved within the 3 days. It was done, it has been done to take you to the presence of the beloved of Allah, Al-Mustafa. This is not stories. It's not something you're going to be reading in books. You will not see the teacher sit here and mention their experiences. To my knowledge, I've never seen them do that. But what they do, they have given us the knowledge and the tools for you to experience. For who to experience? Yourselves. Just contemplate on that. How we, before this knowledge was shared, how we've read in the books. If you come from the background that I come back from, how we read in the books, how we long of a dream, how we long of a dream of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How we long of a dream. Imagine how precious a dream is. Now, imagine that you are able to achieve this in a wakeful state. Imagine you're able to achieve this in a wakeful state. Imagine. That in of itself is a motivation to take the next day or 2 or 3 very seriously. Hence why the strictness on the conditions, the acknowledgement. Then just to give you a glimpse, it doesn't stop there. There are other levels to this. Some of the brothers who are sitting amongst you are already practicing this, achieving this, where they enter other realms or focus on a particular era of the seerah of the beloved of the creation and taking lessons from there. Interacting with the companions. Entering into that time in history and directly taking lessons, asking for advice spiritually. Maraka Barzakh, the focus on entering into the grave world. This is not for the faint-hearted. On our 5-6 day retreat, we actually did a field trip to the local graveyard and practiced this live. Again, just to, in all of this is possible with the permission of Allah. So the reliance is on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Focus on the teacher. Again, this will become more clear as the lessons progress. But think for now the teacher is the key. Just like we started this session thanking Allah, thanking the Prophet, thanking the teacher for giving us these teachings, then you'll understand why the teacher is the key and why permission is important. Again, we've made the expectations clear, the objective clear, what is required from yourselves clear. All these teachings, all the ustads that will be delivering this, they're under the teachings of Shaykh Ahmad Dabagh. And they are the pioneers of this. The reason I'm hesitating right now, I did have a slide presented to introduce the teacher. But this is checked by themselves and they asked that to be removed. Commitment, open vessel, don't just pass time by. Any questions? Anything that anybody didn't understand, or what the expectations are here, what the objective is? MashaAllah. Then I'll pass over to Brother Zafar.
Jazakallah khair. And most teachers, especially our main teacher, Sheikh Ahmad Tabag, don't like big, lofty introductions. All I will say about Brother Sajid, he doesn't like big introductions as well. He's a professional optometrist. And, these people, when you see trainers, they're not, 24/7 in the masjid. They're not muftis, alamas, maulanas. These are professional business people who, like you and me, who have, studied this path and achieved some success. And inshallah, that's inspiration. The reason why we tell you this is to inspire you that, you and I can do the same as well. And inshallah, we will do if we have the same intentions and objectives as outlined to us by our teacher. I would like to invite younger Brother Muhammad to come and do the adhan. And in the meantime, if anybody wants to freshen up for wudu, please, by all means, continue to do so. And we aim to be back here within the next 5-6 minutes for the main Isha Jamaat.